So I want to have a discussion about the upcoming Han Solo movie. The rumors have been going rampant that there's going to be a Super Bowl either teaser or a full out trailer. It's probably going to be a teaser or maybe a teaser for a teaser of the new Star Wars movie coming out this May, Solo: A Star Wars Story. And the talk is that they're going to air a small clip during the Super Bowl, and then the next day on Good Morning America, or maybe even on the Star Wars, YouTube page, we're going to have like a full out teaser for the movie. The movie comes out in May. This is not a Star Wars movie that comes out in December this time around. And I wanted to talk about the movie. A lot of people have been saying that this movie should never have happened. And I kind of understand that mentality. I sort of get it because when you really think about it, okay, we'll talk about this. I know some folks don't understand that mentality, but I'll explain it. A Star Wars Han Solo, solo story, pun intended, is on paper, it sounds like a good business move because Han Solo is arguably the most popular character in Star Wars. He's a legendary character, 40 years, been around, and somebody who people grew up with. So seeing kind of the story of Han, as a younger Han, meeting Lando, meeting Chewie, getting the Millennium Falcon, doing the Kessel Run, or whatever else is going to happen in the film, that's something that I'm sure a lot of fans would love to see. But the thing about Han Solo's character is that Han Solo's character as kind of this rogue sort of bad boy, it works better with him kind of having more mystique. We did find out a lot more about Han, way back with the old Han Solo novels, but those have been pretty much decanonized by Disney. And there was some more information about Han in some of the Aftermath books, but that's more so about what happened after Return of the Jedi. And of course, there's a little bit of stuff in Battlefront too. But overall, Han Solo's character has always been one that it works better with him being more of a kind of a mysterious guy, somebody who is there and we see his character arc, but we don't have to know his entire origin story. That being said, though, the movie's already done. Well, maybe it's not entirely done, but you know what I mean. It's happening. Nothing's going to stop this movie from coming out. It's already been made. Ron Howard came in and directed it, took over from Lord Miller. I did a video on Geek the Movie talk about why I thought that Ron Howard was a better choice than Lord Miller. Not because I don't think Lord Miller are talented, but because I think that most of Lord Miller's movies are very, very clowny and goofy. And if they're going to go in that direction with Han, I don't know, because look, I'm all for witty comedy because Han Solo is a witty character. And I'm all for Han having quips and jokes here and there and things like that. But if the whole movie's going to be just one big comedy, I'm not sure how that's going to be well received by the fandom. I don't know if it will be, especially after what happened with Last Jedi. Last Jedi had a lot of comedy, and a lot of folks were cool with it, but even the ones that liked the movie were talking about how there's tonal problems and some of the jokes just didn't hit and they felt forced and they felt cringy. And I feel like if the Han Solo movie does the same thing, I think a lot of Star Wars fans, especially if they screw up Han Solo, which I'm going to get to in a minute, I think a lot of Star Wars fans are going to really be upset, maybe more so than Last Jedi people who didn't like that movie or people who didn't like Last Jedi. Because, the big thing about Last Jedi, or one of the big criticisms, is that Rian Johnson butchered Luke Skywalker's character. He deconstructed it and whatnot. But if you deconstruct Luke Skywalker, that's bad. But deconstructing Luke and Han within 6 months, I feel like that's going to drive people completely bonkers if they do that. And the issue is that the actor that they have playing Han Solo is not Harrison Ford. Now, you have to understand, obviously they couldn't get Harrison Ford to play a younger version of himself, even though I have a feeling that with the way technology is now, I think maybe it's actually possible to take his face and make it younger. We saw this technology in Civil War with the young Tony Stark, so they probably could do that, but that wasn't the intention. It was to hire a young actor to play a young Han Solo, and filling Harrison Ford's shoes is a big, big, big challenge. And there have been all kinds of rumors about how Alden Ehrenreich, who plays Han in the movie, needs an acting coach. That was the big thing. And there was behind-the-scenes talk of, when Lord and Miller were in there were frustrations with Alden Ehrenreich and Ehrenreich, and Lord Miller, which is what led to Lord Miller getting removed. That's just been the talk. It's just rumors. I wasn't there. But, there was talk that they were a little too hard on the kid. But the thing is, this is a difficult movie for him because you got a guy who supposedly needs an acting coach, and he has to go in there and play a character portrayed by Harrison Ford. I mean, think about that. That's a crazy, 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 challenge. And I think that when that trailer drops, if people look at that trailer and they see him as Han Solo, and he has a line or he says something and it just doesn't sound like Han Solo, or it doesn't feel like Han Solo, the movie could end up, this could be a catastrophic situation here. And the difference between Last Jedi and this movie is that those who went into Last Jedi had high expectations. And please don't, like I said in another video I did, please don't let anybody tell you they didn't have expectations. That's impossible. You can't not have expectations for a Star Wars movie unless you're a new fan. It's impossible. But, you know, people went into that with expectations. They were let down by Last Jedi. With this movie, if people are going into it with lowered expectations, which I think is going to be a possibility, I definitely feel that's happening, that's one thing. But if they go in with absolutely no interest, there's a difference between expectation and interest. Remember that. And if they look at this trailer and they say, you know what, that guy's not Han Solo. Han Solo was my hero as a kid, and I don't want to see him get butchered because I already saw what they did to Luke in Last Jedi. You know, it could end up being a major problem. It really could. You know, and they have a good crop of actors in this movie. You know, Paul Bettany's in the movie. Woody Harrelson is in the movie, and he definitely has had a great year, right? Emilia Clarke's in the film. Donald Glover's Lando. And again, the Donald Glover Lando thing, I don't think enough people are talking about that. Even though I feel like Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, is a very talented actor, is he going to really be able to match up with the charisma of Billy Dee Williams? And again, I do think that Donald Glover has a lot of charisma, but he's also not the main character. The main character is Han Solo. And I just don't want this movie. I mean, again, Chewie's going to be in it. There will be Star Wars aesthetics in it. The Millennium Falcon's going to be in it. We know all that. I just don't want this film to kind of be, you know, all these different things we heard of crammed into one film. We know that Lawrence Kasdan is writing this movie. He's the writer of this film. He wrote the screenplay. And I trust Lawrence Kasdan because he wrote Empire, Jedi, and Force Awakens, so he knows how to write for the Han Solo character, and he knows how to write good Star Wars movies. You know, but the direction, Ron Howard, the acting, there's other things here. You know, like I said, aesthetically wise, production wise, it's probably going to look great because ILM and Disney and the CGI work they do there and the puppeteering work and all that, it's second to none. I mean, it really is. That's not the concern here. But if the movie's just going to be like, and I really hope Lawrence Kasdan does not do this, but it might be out of his hands. If the film is going to be just, you know, Han meets Chewie, does the Kessel Run, meets Lando, steals the Falcon from Lando, and how all these things happen within one movie, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel, but I feel like that's what they're going to do because that's what they think that people want to see. And I think people do want to see it, but it's going to be a little bit unrealistic if it all happens within like 1 or 2 days. Hopefully, if all these events do happen in the movie, there will be time skips within the actual movie, which is usually not something Star Wars movies do. Rogue One experimented with it a little bit here and there. But in general, Star Wars movies don't have time skips within the actual body of the film. The time skips usually happen, you know, in between movies. You know what I'm saying? If there are time skips in the body of the film, it's only about a day or two. You know, I can't even remember a movie that was more than like a week. Like, I'm trying to think here. You know, obviously Empire and Jedi, there was some time being skipped there, but it wasn't more than, I can't imagine it being more than a week. But I haven't looked at the calendar of the actual event in quite some time, so I couldn't tell you that. But it's usually not a long time. I'm talking about like this movie should be like maybe a few years between these events. That way it doesn't feel too contrived, because I just don't want it to be a super contrived movie. We'll see. I mean, the trailer's coming out very soon. I will probably have a breakdown of the trailer right here on Geekdom 101. No, this is not Geekdom 101. That's my other channel, World of Geekdom. I will have a breakdown of the trailer here, and we'll discuss it. It's going to be interesting because they're also bringing in a few non-canon characters into this thing, specifically characters from the old Dark Horse comics that we're going to be seeing in this movie, which is always a good thing. And of course, Warwick Davis is going to be there. We did hear that Ewoks might actually be in this movie. I believe it was confirmed. I know some Star Wars fans aren't going to like that. I'm okay with Ewoks. I've never had a problem with it, but I certainly hope it's a good movie. I really think that people are really, really doubting this thing. I hope it's a sleeper hit. I'm going to go see it, even though it's, you know, I'm not looking forward to it like I want to. I am going to go check it out because, you know, it comes out May 25th. You know, and it's right around the corner. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out, Avengers, Deadpool 2, but I'll see all of them because that's what we do. We watch nerd movies here. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for checking out this video. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited for the Solo movie? And are you excited for the trailer we're going to get this weekend? If we get it, we should get it. Like I said, I'll talk about it here on the channel. But thank you. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you soon.